What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this infinite breakdown, a recap and ending explained. No, it won't go on forever, it'll just be a few minutes. This was a curious movie which came out of nowhere with its trailer a few weeks ago and dropped this week on Paramount Plus. Apparently that's a thing. Just like Godzilla vs. Kong, I'm gutted I did not get to see this on the big screen because while it wasn't a perfect movie, it had some pretty cool ideas and the action was actually really good. The movie was full of problems in the script, but it seems today more than ever people need reminding that you can enjoy a movie that is technically not that good instead of just going on Letterboxd and really trying to give it 1 star for clout. The movie focuses on the infinites. Infinites are essentially people who reincarnate, but then by adolescence, they can remember all of their past lives. A very small rare amount have special powers, such as the infinite Treadway, who could control physics and reincarnated into Evan, and some remember a lot faster, like Bathurst, the movie's villain, who remembers all of his past lives in the womb, which has driven him mad, and that sounds absolutely freaking awful. Within the infinites are 2 sides named the Believers and the Nihilists. The Believers try to improve humanity and leave it better than they left it, while the Nihilists believe that reincarnation is a curse and they want to destroy all of humanity due to this, so there is nothing left to reincarnate into. It works by attacking things and people at DNA level. They're a very 2D villain and really there's not much to them whatsoever. Part of this is the egg, which was taken from Bathurst and is integral to use as part of this in his machine. In the movie's opening, we see Treadway with the egg escape the Nihilists and fight a past life of Bathurst in 1985. The central mystery of the movie just revolves around where the egg actually went. Over the course of the movie, we learn where the egg actually was through the life of the person who Treadway was reincarnated into after his fight with Bathurst on the crane, which looked pretty stunning, and that was Mark Wahlberg's Evan. Evan has no clue what the infinites are and thinks that his visions of past lives are just part of his schizophrenia and was diagnosed with that at an early age, interfering with his recall. However, the tablets he takes are actually interfering with this recall, as in adolescence that's when most infinites get full memories back, and this was explained by Nora when she was talking about her love who died when they were attacked also with Treadway, and he was kept inside the kind of digital consciousness that Bathurst keeps, so the Believers can't keep reincarnating. The egg, as we found out, was actually inside Treadway's body, having put it inside him as he thought it was the last place anyone would look, hence the message, look inside. Treadway, now Evan, actually has spent countless lifetimes allied with Bathurst. Over time, Bathurst became disillusioned with his power, and the pair spent the last 300 years as enemies. Evan is trying just to live his life, but after a deal to get more schizophrenia pills goes south, his arrest and sword that he made due to his memories of past lives is logged on the police system, leading both factions of the Infinites to find him and realise he was the legendary Treadway. Chitwell here looks unrecognisable as Bathurst as he interrogates a clueless Evan, trying to get his memories back, but it's short-lived as Nora crashes into the wall and escapes with Evan after a stunning car chase, which reminded me of Terminator 2. Say what you will about the script of the story, the action looked great in 4K. Now, Evan is told all about the Infinites and the Believers versus the Nihilist war. It's a shame we didn't get much lore or backstory on really anything. I'd have liked to have seen this really from Treadway's eyes. The criticism of the overall premise for me here is that it's overly simplistic. It reminds me of Assassin's Creed with 2 warring factions for centuries, but the Templars and the Assassins, had defined goals and a lot of depth. The depth of the warring factions here is non-existent, with a comical evil villain in Bathurst. They head to the hub, the base of the Believers, and the key here is to restore Evan's memories, which takes a lot of the movie. I can't help but think maybe he should have just stopped taking his pills, which cure schizophrenia, movie over. However, they work to unlock the memories of Evan. It's here he learns all about the war which they are losing, and seemed weird as their base looked so sick and they had more people than the 3-ish main nihilists that we saw. He's taught to fight and they use other ways to unlock his memory, and he's even shown Treadway's body that is kept on ice so they could understand the gifts. However, it's here at the hub we learn what the special gun and bullet that killed Nora's lover does. It's called a dethroner that downloads one's consciousness to be downloaded to a chip and stop it being reincarnated. Don't ask how any of this works, because just like most things in the movie, it just does. Bathurst keeps these chips on file, as we saw with Brian when he's interrogated by Bathurst and kept on there. These are kept in the Bathurst estate as the memory unlocking doesn't work and they need to seek out the artisan. It's here that the similarities to the Matrix are very clear, with the artisan being the one key to unlocking memories, similar to the Oracle in the Matrix. The mythology and lore is incredibly interesting, with the opportunities for showing different time periods, much like Assassin's Creed with the feudal Japan and Aztec tribes that we saw in flashbacks, showing the many different lives we led. However, here we get a sort of Fast and the Furious modern day knockoff. I kind of feel ripped off. However, the artisan isn't explained in detail and is just a mystical figure, the last resort to get the memories back. As dumb as it was cool seeing Jason Mantzoukas, probably butchered his name, as I've loved him since he was in the league. However, as the casino cover is actually happening, Bathurst is watching as Evan steps in the flotation tank, which I guess makes him focus, and drowning makes him remember. Oh my god, what is going on? He recalls that the egg is within his previous body, the body of Treadway, and Bathurst leads his crew there to the hub, and it makes me wonder why, if there's a war, why didn't they just take out everyone at the hub if he knew where Evan was? He can just kill them and then take Evan. He also shot Evan with a dethroner, which doesn't work, as Nora goes to take out Bathurst with a very long-range sniper, so he can't use the egg, and he attacks her using a really cool VR drone system, which looked pretty ingenious, and thus ensues the best fight as Nora goes all Fortnite climbing a drone and flying around, and is outgunned, except Evan has arrived and clearly has most of his memories back, and jumps on the plane in an impressive sequence where they have a showdown with swords, which really reminded me, for some reason, of the plane scene in the terrible Tom Cruise Mummy movie. Now, Nora destroys the machine that keeps consciousness digitally so that she can be reincarnated with her lover Abel. She herself is mortally wounded, and they will meet up at the meeting point they have, where when they both remember their lives, they can go off and be each other with every life. However, on the plane, Evan steals the egg out of the machine, and while falling, shoots Bathurst with a dethroner, but there's nowhere to store his mind, meaning he is dead forever. Funnily enough, that's what he actually wanted. At the end, we see the artisan in Jakarta watching a young man with a sword who is clearly Treadway, and without the psychiatric meds, he remembers a lot sooner his past memories and is recruited. Clearly, the artisan has taken a role at the hub in the space of the tech woman, and I do wonder if their mission is not complete. The problem is the nihilists were so one-dimensional and the second-in-commands were cardboard cutouts, but the franchise does have potential, and I hope we see more of it. As while this movie was pretty generic, it did have flashes of potential with its high-concept ideas. But that is it for this video. Please do drop a like down below, do subscribe with notifications if you want more, and do check out our TikTok as well at Superhero Nexus. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.